trip to Australia. Maguire's Bathurst 12 Hour. Let's check out some of the recent highlights, and how about this fight here for the lead as the Corvette ranged up to the back of that beautiful number 46 BMW. That was at the time Valentino Rossi behind the wheel. They've had a few moments together so far this weekend. Katzberg getting that move done and moving into the lead of the race and holding a pretty commanding lead at this part as well. Further back behind him, Cam Waters has been doing a nice job in car triple two. We saw him set the pole position yesterday, win that Alan Simonson trophy. He's been hounding the back of that BMW as well. Couldn't quite get that one done on that occasion. This was a pretty good battle, this one. We had to really use all of Lauren Heinrich's knowledge and nous to get the job done around the outside at turn one. Wasn't going to happen there. It was a very, very late move to get done eventually down into the chase. That's probably the move of the race so far. How about this one, running the high line, the Tsunami Porsche, getting away with one going through the Ford cutting, just wiping the rear of that car along the fence. And it's been smooth sailing for Katzberg at the front of this field. Recently come in for a pit stop to refuel that car. They haven't quite got the fuel economy that the BMW has. The BMW certainly got the life at the front of the field in terms of just amazing fuel economy, and that was maybe what was the difference there with Raffaele Marciello getting down the inside of Katzberg to take back the lead of the race just before Katzberg came into the pits. If that BMW is getting 2 more laps on the field every time around across 11 stints, that is the better part of 22 laps of fuel that they could have on the field. That's nearly a whole stint. Looking very good for Valley and the team down at BMW.
It really is, Chad. Thanks to the Maguire's race highlights. Bathurst 12 Hour. So much to see and do in Bathurst, and just down about 2 Ks from where we are, you can check out Australia's only full T-Rex skeleton in the History Museum here. The Railway Museum is outstanding here if you're a kid at heart or just a kid. It's a great place to go. Little ice cream stop. Suspect we might see us there after the race. We'll just swing by the ice cream parlour on George Street on our way home. And then you can come to Mount Panorama and play as well. So much cool things to do in Bathurst town. Here's the leaderboard with the caveat that we're in the middle of a pit stop sequence at the moment. So some of these cars are out of position relative to where they should be when the pit stops are all cleansed. Nevertheless, an idea to work out where your favourite driver is. Brett Hobson behind the wheel of the number 45 Mercedes AMG that leads the Pro-Am class down there in 18th position outright. Boccolacci is leading the bronze class, but is in pit lane. Sergio Perez as well. The McLaren still circulates the silver class leader. And remarkably, after that spin at the chase, the 111, the IRC GT continues to lap a long way down, but they're the invitational class car that continues to circulate here at Mount Panorama. We are 4 hours and 25 minutes into the Maguire's Bathurst 12 Hour, which means there's 7 hours and 34 minutes to go in the race, and we're in the middle of a pit stop sequence, and the next one to peel off into pit lane, having led their first laps of the day from the very back of the field, is Maro Engel, who makes his 10th Bathurst 12 Hour start this weekend, and GMR are ready to receive his Mercedes AMG.
Guys, just crunching some of the numbers there on the number 46 WRT BMW. By the way, Valentino Rossi has got back in to that car, which is interesting on the driver rotation in itself. That was 33 laps that we had on the stint before Valentino got back in. And that was 1 hour and 11 minutes for that car. So that was a lap longer. But of course, they already had banked a couple of laps when Valentino was doing the extreme fuel save. So that's why they came in 3 laps later than the cars around them. But that is stacking up quite nicely now, Garth, for that WRT number 46.
Yeah, it is. We are starting to see that BMW does have a small fuel economy advantage, but certainly not what they did have last year. And there has been a fuel tank capacity change under the BOP rules last year going into this year for that, for not only BMW, for a lot of the manufacturers. So that is part of the whole process of balancing these cars with performance on track, performance in pit lane, economy, range, all the rest of it. But we have been on board with the BMW a couple of times with Valentino Rossi and Raffaele Macchiello, and they are very excessively fuel-saving in the driving technique. So not only with the car, but also the way they're driving it.
And it was 7 litres to change, and we guessed that that would be about 2 laps round Mount Panorama, and that's kind of how it's come down to it. They were getting 35s at stages last year. The track length hasn't changed, so that is the differential, and that's what we're seeing. So if that's what the rule makers were looking for, then that's worked out exactly right. Now, this is interesting at the Ford cutting.
This is important because it's Mauro Engel leaving pit lane on a cold tyre versus Valentino Rossi on a hot tyre. And he's going to have a look up the inside to what we call the tree. It used to be a tree that hung over the track there. It's not there anymore. But this is important because Engel will fight tooth and nail to hold his track position over the BMW. Rossi needs to strike while the tyre is hot. Very good. And try and get the job done.
He's all over it, and he's got his teammate coming behind. Now, that's an interesting one as well. That number 32, Jordan Pepper, South African, sits in 16th position on a different strategy. Lost the lap early on, and this is the first lap after. Oh my goodness, down past the Quinn car and the BMW Forest Elbow.
Oh, it's Tony Quinn behind the wheel of that car.
Tony.
His modus operandi for the race was don't get hit by anyone, please don't hit me. So he's successfully ticked that box. It was fairly heart-raising though. Just been pointed out that what this is also helpful for is dragging El Bamba back into this. So they came out about 6 seconds behind and now locked again to the back of the 46 car. Jordan Pepper is out of this sequence. He's back on the lead lap, but right at the very tail end of it, and they're not far away from a pit stop either. So they're clinging on to hope that they're going to get this lap back that they lost early with that strange scenario where they didn't repair the front of the number 32 car under yellow. He's blocking pretty heavily though.
Oh, that's a bit naughty.
From El Bamba, who's trying to get through and will do so up the inside.
Well, Mauro Engel, this is certainly better than qualifying yesterday. Yes, you had to start at the back of the field, but you pitted from the lead of the race. Do you have a Mercedes that's capable of staying there?
Yeah, obviously we're happy that the car's running well now, and so far the race has been going well, clean. Obviously strategies are playing out, but it's nice that we're back in the mix.
Do you feel like your boys and girls on the pit wall can help you guys with that strategy aspect to stay up front?
Yeah, for sure. We've got a great team here at Mercedes Team GMR, and some clever brains, so we'll let them work, and I mean it's a long way to go, but so far so good.
I'm so glad to see you up at the front. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Cheers.
And guys, I might have figured out who their secret strategist is. If you follow me, they've got somebody hiding right back there. I think that's the true genius to all the strategy calls. It's the power of the koala.
That's a little mascot that's been handed out to all the teams. This is interesting. Into the garage is the Penrite Racing Mercedes AMG. Only 6 laps into a stint.
Underneath the front splitter at the moment, the team with the blowers just keeping the brakes cool. That's the brake duct intake. Having a look under the front of the splitter, it's hard to pick what's going on with this car.
And while that's happening, Garth, we have had the number 95 McLaren lead a lap.
Yep, so they'll add their name to the list of leaders today. So Marvin Kirchhofer pulls into pit lane. This is for track position. Down the inside goes El Bamba on the 46 car. So passes Valentino Rossi, which will be for net spot in the top 3 once this pit stop sequence is cleared. So Kirchhofer in the lane. This leading group of cars about to all funnel through and get past. Shay?
Down in the other Mercedes garage for number 100, this is the Grove Racing car. It's in the garage, pointed nose in. The back end is filthy. It looks like there's oil all around, and it smells really hot. They're hammering away at the grill. They've actually got bits of tape that they've pulled off to try and get more cooling to go through. I'm just going to see if I can dive in really quickly with Stephen Grove. Stephen, do you know what the problem is?
I think there's a vibration in the splitter. Brenton had it on the in-lap. He thought it might have been pickup. And then Will's gone out and said it's got worse. So it must have split somehow on the splitter. It must be something that's split there.
That's going to be a problem if it's something on the floor of the car. Hopefully it's a quick fix, though.
Yeah, with a Merc, it's hard on the front.
Car 15 for exceeding maximum continuous drive time.
I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
I'm so grateful to see you, but good luck the rest of the way at least.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Probably just heard in the background there the race control giving a 6 minute time penalty at the next pit stop for the car that's had more penalties than anyone else today. They've had more drive-through than a bank holiday weekend at McDonald's, haven't they? And this one is a standing still, so they'll be able to have 2 soft-boiled eggs whilst they're standing still in the pit lane, and that is the number 15 McLaren.
They'll probably have 6 minutes to read the sporting regs and understand the maximum and minimum driving time, because that's an early... I mean, when you're doing your strategy stuff, isn't that the first thing you'd be looking at? Like, what are the boxes that we have to work within when we do our driver strategy and our pit stop strategy and all the rest of it? So just getting caught out there, team for the 15 in 6 minutes. Those of you that watched Bathurst into early 2000s will know that there was a very famous 5-minute time penalty for Greg Murphy, and he actually took the time to go to a Portaloo.
He did.
With 5 minutes. So.
Murph, I'm sure we'll be watching him.
Of course he will.
On our colleagues on Sky New Zealand. So, hello to Murph. 6 minutes, it's one more.
Yeah.
That's worse. So...
Well, with the cost of living and inflation and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's actually fair.
Is probably about right.
A reasonable percentage increase, isn't it? What's going on here is what will be a battle for the net race lead when this series of pit stops shakes out. So, Rolf Aron and Craft Bamboo Racing about 4 or 5 laps to the different of the cars around them in terms of stopping. So that's why they're 26 seconds up the road in the lead. And now Earl Bamber has got tyre temp up. He's gone bang, bang, bang and passed his way to the front. So he's got by Maxime Martin in the 888 car, and the Corvette now moves to second on the road. But when the pit stops are complete, that will be the race lead. So this has been, after taking some time to get up to speed for the Kiwi from Whanganui on the North Island, he is quickly getting up to speed and pulling away now, and what will ultimately be the lead of the race. This is busy though.
Bit of energy here.
Oh, Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren. How are the names?
EFG. It's like that little hip check as well there, going through, was it New South Wales, destination New South Wales, Griffin Bends. Oh, now weaving around there, that's going to upset people, Goff.
Yeah, clearly the McLaren on a cold tyre, trying to do everything it can to, 1, hold its position, and 2, build some tyre temperature. Oh, you always hold your breath when cars stick their nose in the run up the mountain after the cutting. With the McLaren holds position, they're coming up on the Quinn car, so that's Tony Quinn aboard the Audi. Which way do they go?
Not either side.
Quinny hasn't seen them. So now they are absolutely line astern and have to be so super patient. It's one line down to the dipper. And out of the dipper, there is a chance. So you can see now they're getting patient again. And now the McLaren's going to try and look up the inside. Quinny goes to the inside. Ricardo Fella's going to go right around the outside and chose the right lane. Thank you very much. Job done.
Garnett Patterson was boxed in there, couldn't get by. Wow, Brett Hobson is buying into this, fancying himself running with the international pros. Davide Rigon is still behind the wheel of the 26 Arise Ferrari. Another car like the McLaren in front that's played itself in today and is significantly better than it was in practice and qualifying. The team are driving these things flat out, and we just don't have the car speed to go with it, but they're better today. So this is a feisty battle. It's for 7th, 8th and 9th position, and at the top of the screen in the yellow Porsche is Picariello in the number 911 Absolute Racing car, who is hauling this battle pack in.
I don't think Tony Quinn could have done anything else there, though, Garth, could he? Could he have lifted off just on the short run to Skyline?
Oh, maybe the run to Skyline, because you don't want to put yourself under that pressure from Skyline to the dipper. So maybe, but it's not easy just to disappear. You can't just pick yourself up out of the way and let 4 cars get through.
The point to make as well is that this was going on well before they got along.
Absolutely.
To Tony Quinn. So that was Patterson side by side. And then around the outside went Ricky Fella. It's a big move to do that. I've just had confirmation that Greg Murphy is watching from New Zealand. So
he did say that the 6-minute penalty was 1 more minute than his 5 more.
Correct. Yeah. Good afternoon it is now over in New Zealand. So thank you for watching. And this is the Ferrari. There's Ricky Fellow. Garnet Patterson was boxed in there in that McLaren.
Had to lift.
Just, yeah, I mean, he had to. There's no option.
Otherwise, he was wearing the McLaren. Jackson Evans, gone massive. Oh my goodness me, how good was that?
I've enjoyed the work of that McLaren today, though. They
Really?
played themselves in really well as the leader gets into pit lane.